Hey, see here, and this is, as you can see, The Sims 3. I love The Sims 3 so much, you should know already if you know me, and I downloaded a custom world that is fantastic, it is phenomenal, it looks so good, and it seems like it plays incredibly well as well, which is rare for a custom world. It looks beautiful, and I had to make a video about it, possibly even a let's play, we'll see. And I say this because it comes with a story. It comes with a story save that feels so well thought out. So yeah, this is Borosberg is the world, and a tree grows in Borosberg is the story. So we are Silent Eye, PI, and we are Jeff, this guy right here. Jeff has spent the last 10 years of his life cruising through life, solving the occasional case while simultaneously living life at its chillest. A far cry from his old special agent days before he burnt out. Recovering ain't easy, and the symptoms flare up time and time again, but he manages with a steady therapy regimen of cocktails and bowling. Classic. Yet, inexplicably, he's managed to get himself a girlfriend. He doesn't know how it happened either, and now she's asking him to move in and start dressing better and eat better. Is life starting to move too fast for Jeff? Well, we will find out. Unpopular opinion, but I actually like these. I know that basically everybody turns it off, but I really like these because it just adds what, a couple minutes. It is a really long loading time usually. Well, it's loading pretty fast today, but usually it is a really long loading time, and it does add more time to that, but I don't mind waiting a couple minutes when I can be entertained. I can choose to not do anything and it will load up faster, but I can also just like crime up and table. I guess it was that. Okay, so here we are. This is it. This is Borosberg. I don't think I said it in the intro, but this is actually, you may be able to see it. This is inspired by New York City. Now, it's not trying to be the whole of New York City, and I think that's exactly why I love it so much, because I have another world that is the entire New York City, and it looks incredible, but it doesn't play as well. It it is way too big, first of all, and in order for it to be so big, a lot of the a lot of the buildings are actually just shells with 2D textures that are not even that high in detail. So you will be walking like in here, but here in this world, you can't actually go there. It is all shells on this side, and it looks beautiful, but you can't actually walk there. Whereas in the other world that I have, which I will not name because I don't want to make an unfair, like, it's still beautiful. They're just different. But that other world, it's basically the whole world like that, and that's why I don't really like it as much. But I'm not gonna lie, this is actually a voiceover on top of the footage, because I had to scrap basically half of the episode because of the weird sibilantes that I, I hated. Like, it was grating on my ears. But yeah, this is Jeff, and my computer is a potato as well, so a lot of the times you will see just that. You will have to wait until everything loads up. But yeah, this is Jeff. Now, I'm here because I tried to go on a date with my girlfriend there. I didn't know that this was, football courts or sports things, sports fields. Wow, I'm so interested in sports. I didn't know, because if you go here on the map, you see that looks like a bistro, like a cafe sort of thing. So I asked my girlfriend out on a date there, and I guess that's why she said no. She didn't say no, actually. She said yes, but then she didn't even come, or I don't remember. I think she said yes, she came, and then she said she had to go to work. I guess she didn't know that it was going to be football course, which to be fair, neither did I. And when she arrived, was like, excuse me, where did you invite me? But yeah, then we tried again in the half of the footage that I had to scrap. We tried again to invite her out, but she was at work already. So basically, we are trying to find a case to work on because we are a private investigator. And yeah, we found a case to work on and we worked on that case, basically, is the main thing. Which honestly, most of it happens in the second half, which you'll see in a few minutes. So, yeah, why a few minutes? I don't know. How much longer will I be talking here? I mean, at this point, I'll just be talking. One thing I need to show you is the apartment because it looks so good. I mean, look at that. It's just the right amount of clutter. It is full and lived in, and you can tell some of those things don't look like something that someone like Jeff would have. So you can see the influence of his girlfriend, and already in the apartment, you can see so much detail and so much love and thought put into it that I already fell in love just by looking at the apartment. And yeah, and we also went through the traits that Jeff has. And since I have a mode that expands the traits and lets me have up to 8 for adult sims, I also added a few more traits. Basically, it boils down to he's good, but he's grumpy, and he's rebellious. He loves vehicle. He's a vehicle enthusiast, which I was surprised to see that vehicle enthusiast. I never used that trait, and vehicles enthusiasts actually become friends with the with the vehicles, which is so weird, but I love it. That is why I love The Sims 3. That is, I mean, not that specifically, but that is also why it's part of the reason. Also, yeah, you can see Perceptive was given, like, he had the Perceptive trait because of his degree, and the Couch Potato, in theory, because of his Rebel thing, but he's only level 2 in the Rebel social group. I don't know how that makes sense, but okay, sure. Because you get a trait, an extra trait, if you get to level 10, as far as I know, in a social group, and he's only level 2. So maybe he was level 10, but then he got down to level 2 again. I don't know. But yeah, here you can see they're just randomized. So it says nurturing, but I didn't actually want him to be nurturing. Like, I'm sure he would be a really good father, but I don't want him to have the trait. So yeah, I scrapped those and gave him, because those were the randomized one, I'm pretty sure. Because there are 3 that were randomized because of the mode that I downloaded. So yeah, I got rid of nurturing and I gave him something like rebellious. Also party animal, like, well, come on, look at him. He's not a party animal. And I gave him the vehicle enthusiast one. And something else, I don't remember the third one. I got rid of neurotic because I don't like how neurotic plays. I mean, for some sims I love it. For this character, I don't want neurotic because it will change everything up. Just for the gameplay elements. So here is where I go to traits to change everything, and that's what I did. I changed the traits that I didn't like. Okay, another thing that I showed in this half of the footage that I had to scrap the voiceover for is this mode that is fantastic. It's basically a third person mode in that lets you play the game as if like it lets you directly control with WASD. But what I use it for is not that, because that is a bit finicky. It doesn't work really well. What I use it for is I just queue up stuff, and then I do this just to follow the sim along. Because if you go into tab and camera mode, you have to follow him manually, whereas with this mode, it follows him in this kind of cinematic way that changes the camera angle like this, and I just love to see how good it looks. I mean, except when I do that and I just look at a wall. But for example, here, look at that cinematic shot. And this is where I noticed the couch. The couch is lovely. I love it so much. I want one in real life like that. And I was like, that doesn't sound like Jack. That it's probably his girlfriend's couch or something. Although that is also kind of where I said I would like to think that Jeff has a feminine side. Like maybe at some point he will dress in drag just to have fun. Why not? He seems like the type. I don't know why. It's rebellious as well. Not that that matters, but I feel. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He's a slope. One of his traits I forgot to say is slob, so he does that from time to time. But yeah, what I mean is he's rebellious. So in The Sims 3, the rebel social group is all about, you know, fighting for justice and stuff like that, which I would think that he's a social rights advocate and stuff like that, even for LGBT, even though he's straight, unfortunately. But yeah. Oh, another thing that I love about this neighborhood is that there's a lot of LGBT sims in it, which sometimes in custom worlds you don't find, because they purposefully put only straight sims in the neighborhood, whereas here you can tell that it's done on purpose to have randomly, even bi-curious. There's a lot of bi-curious, there's a lot of asexual sims as well, and I love to see it. Now here I'm trying to find a good place to bring my girlfriend to out for a date, because I don't want to do the same mistake again and ask her out and bring her to a football court. So yeah. Here I'm just trying to see what is a good place. And actually I found this beautiful place that, not to go on a date to, but here it is. Now, again, it's not to go on a date on, but this is an abandoned synagogue, and just the world building in just this one lot is so good. Like, look at it. It's so beautiful. It is actually, I mean, The Sims, every iteration of The Sims, bar actually not The Sims Medieval, is the only one that had religion. But even then, it's not any specific religion, so something like a synagogue will never be in The Sims. There will be something inspired, maybe, by the architecture, but not an actual synagogue. And the wooden panels that are, broken in some places. And I pictured, since there's a lot of signs, that this is some kind of hidden base that again, going back to activists, that they used as a base to organize themselves, and that's why there's so many signs. And I love that. I love how much detail there is in even an abandoned building. But then yeah, I decided to go for the gallery for a date, but because that's an actual art gallery. So that would be a nice date. But I asked and she said she was busy because she had to work. So yeah, that's the second time she stood me up. I mean, to be fair, she had to work, so I'm not gonna hold it against her yet. Okay, and last thing is in this half of the footage that I had to scrap is this. Well, again, it takes a while to load because my computer is a potato, but I love how they handle things that are not in the neighborhood, because there's no place to have every single type of community lot, right? But they decided to have an underground because it's New York City. So the what's it called? The tram stuff. I forget what it's called. The train, a train station, underground train station or something. What the hell is it called? The subways. Okay, there we go. We got it. We got there in the end, and it looks so beautiful. You can see there in the distance that there are actual trains as well that pass every now and then. Now, they don't go up on a train every time, but even just going down here to go here, I'm going to a police precinct in another neighborhood, which there is a precinct in this neighborhood, but I wanted to show you this, so that's why I went to another one to get the case that I wanted to work on before we went on the date. So yeah, this is beautiful. This is fantastic. And there's the case right there. It's something about hacking, I don't remember. Okay, surprise! The second half of the footage is also with a really shitty audio quality, so voiceover C is here again. I guess this will all just be voiceover on top of the footage, but this is where I find one thing that I want to show you, even with the bad quality audio, is when I find out that he gets a relationship with his bike. Oh my god. Amazing. Oh, I love this. The Sims 3 never change. Vehicle, there we go. Will be relationships with vehicle more quickly. I don't think your sim can automatically name vehicles. Okay, that's why it's called the Beast. I didn't know it was even a thing. Because I knew that there was vehicle enthusiast as a trait, but I've never chosen it. So I didn't know that they build relationships with vehicles. That's so stupid, I love it. Yes, let's do laundry. I've never actually been to a laundromat in this, well, and in real life, but I've never actually played with laundromats. And then I really go on about how cool this is, even though I never played a laundromat. I never, like, my sim wanted to do laundry, which is why I don't have a washing machine in my apartment, so I sent him to a laundromat, and that is so cool that you can even do that in The Sims 3, and that is also part of why I love The Sims 3 so much. Like, look at this. And yeah, but pretty much for the rest of the episode that I wanted to do, I just solved the case, which is not that exciting, so you didn't miss much. But then I try to invite my girlfriend out on a date again. I actually tried twice, and this is the first time that I tried, and I asked her out. Oh, I noticed that was beautiful. I think it's an actual thing that you can do in the game if you get a high enough street art thing, and it looks beautiful. But then I thought that, like, no, I don't want to ruin it because it's already beautiful as it is. But anyway, the first time I tried, I mean, I say the first, this is already the third time that I tried to ask her out on a date, now that she's free and she's not at work anymore. So I asked her out on the festival, but it's already too late for the festival, so nobody's here, but she's not even here. So she actually stood me up. So then I asked her out at the art gallery, and honestly, she stood me up there as well. Here I am at the art gallery. It looks beautiful. It looks fantastic. Again, I love this world, and the more I see about it, the more I love it. Another sign of Ilithia. I thought that that taxi would have Ilithia, that Ilithia would come out of that taxi for a second. Then that taxi went away without Ilithia coming out of it. And I was just there like, where the hell is my girlfriend? She said she'd be here. She said yes. And then when I finally had enough and started to go home, she suddenly said, I gotta hang up, sorry. Like, no shit, you stood me up twice tonight, 4 times in these 2 days. Like, what the fuck? And I'm the problem in this relationship because I don't want you to move in because I'm too into my independency and stuff like that. Like, okay, sure, I mean, that's something that we need to talk about, but you stood me up 4 times in 2 days. I don't know if it's working with this girl. But yeah, this is all there is for this episode. It's really not what I thought it was gonna be. Like, I didn't think I was going to voice over the whole thing, but honestly, I had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And also you can see there again, she said again, sorry, I gotta, like, seriously, she's rubbing it in. I don't think it's gonna work with her. Anyway, I hope you had fun, because I did, surprisingly, just voicing over the episode, even though there, like, I played this, there is like 2 hours of footage that I had to scrap the audio for, and all I got was like around 20 minutes that I had to voice over. But I loved it. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I'll see you next time. Let me know if you want more of this Let's Play specifically in New York, or maybe something else in New York. If you don't want Jeff, but maybe I can make another sim and keep playing in New York. If you want my spoiler for another Let's Play that's coming in The Sims 3, so I'm not gonna say anything more about that, but let me know in the comments if you want anything specific. And other than that, yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!